Welcome into Speaking with Judgment. Thanks for hanging out with your guy. I am your guy, Jonathan Mathis, the sports judge. We have fun, have a great time as we talk sports. Rough start for Bill Belichick. He made his coaching debut on Monday night, and it wasn't the outcome he was expecting. It was bad, spectacularly bad, embarrassingly bad. UNC was awful. It was that bad. This was so brutal. I don't care if he's a legendary coach with a stacked resume. This was an ass whooping. And no amount of excuses will make it anything other than an ass whooping. His kids literally took punches to the face, kicks to the stomach, knives to their ankles, bats to their heads. It was that kind of night. UNC looked like an untalented team and often appeared unprepared. This was so obvious, and for Bill Belichick, it's never been this bad, honestly. I can't remember any of his teams ever been this horrendous. I have never seen anything more humiliating like this by any of his teams in any season at any level. Words couldn't describe it. I cannot recall a more depressing start to a season for him. So clearly after just week one, they have shown us they were not ready at all to play football. I mean, I'm being kind of nice with my words. It was as if this team didn't practice to just get through the motions. It was as if Bill Belichick gave them a week off. First of all, to be a championship winning coach, and when you see his team get embarrassed the way it did, a 48-14 loss to TCU, isn't going to make up for the way things ended in New England. It appears to me that he's a 70-year-old man who seems out of touch since Tom Brady left him. I mean, because he has not had a strong coaching career without Tom Brady. I can just tell you that Bill Belichick's disastrous North Carolina debut was shocking. Not surprising they lost the game. I never doubted a win for TCU. I thought TCU would win the game, and they did, but never thought their opponent, the Tar Heels, with Belichick being back in school, would look that bad and lose in that fashion. I had a feeling all day that just after one game, Belichick at UNC is a disaster in the making. I'm calling it right now. Bill Belichick won't finish the season at UNC. If you are one of those people who celebrated the hiring of Bill Belichick when they had the genius idea of we're not good enough, we're not convincing enough, we're not relevant or attractive enough, so let's go get Bill Belichick. And to see what happened last night, you probably have a change of opinions about the Belichick experiment that only lasted one quarter before everything just spiraled out of control. Or maybe you're one of those people who don't overreact and just willing to give it time before you make your judgment about Belichick, because he's just doing the same thing he was doing late in his tenure with the New England Patriots. He wasn't this hot commodity. No NFL team wanted him, so he was desperate, settled for a job at UNC because there really wasn't a market for him. It comes to UNC, the administrators, students, alumni, folks in North Carolina gives him a hearty, warm reception, a very warm welcome when he finally arrived. Then the season finally comes. First game, Belichick's Tar Heels are an underdog at home against a very good TCU team. And Belichick gets undressed in a way that he's never been undressed. And after seeing that, I'm not going to lie. I feel like it's going to be a long season. I tell you that. It's about to be a very long year. After everything that has happened in that game on Monday, that debacle, I don't know how anyone can even say this team is close to being anything good. It was an absolute mess from start to finish. TCU versus North Carolina felt like a scrimmage. Belichick's team got mollywopped. The idea that somehow, some way, he'll be able to turn this thing around, to me, it's hard to believe. This is a guy who's never been this humiliated. Furthermore, he's a legendary coach, a highly regarded figure, a Hall of Fame coach. I'm not trying to diminish his career in any way. He is the GOAT of coaches in his own lane. But when we're talking about him right now, him as a coach at UNC, a blowout loss to start isn't a positive sign. That's the calling of a bad football team. Getting your teeth kicked in like that. Really worrying times for Bill Belichick and UNC. That was as disheartening of a loss as I can remember for a coach who used to win a lot of games. For you to be who you are, it's embarrassing to lose that way. It makes you want to have zero confidence, in all honesty. This was absolutely a concerning loss. To get demoralized, obliterated by TCU is not great. Bill got humbled, that's for sure. He suffered the second biggest regular season loss of his head coaching career. Just to give you context as to how bad it was, 34-point loss, second largest regular season loss of Belichick's head coaching career. The 48 points they gave up is the most Belichick has ever allowed in his head coaching career. If you're looking for a great way to start a college career, this is certainly not the way you want to start off. I think a competitive loss was expected and the historic beatdown was not, yet we get the latter. First drive, oh man, touchdown, beautiful night for Carolina football. Michael Jordan loves what he sees. He's high-fiving everybody. Everybody's going absolutely nuts. In that first drive, all the hype was coming like North Carolina is about to be a team. He's about to transform the program, make them relevant. Oh my God, he's going to change everything. The first drive, they drove right down the field like, we're great. This is UNC football. Oh man, we're going to be good. And then they forgot how to play football. The game just took an absolute turn. The world suddenly came crumbling. The defense quits, gets torched. Just a nightmare game all the way around. It was a horrible night in every aspect of the game. Everything about the night sucked. Out of their opening possession, a nice 7-play, 83-yard drive, Belichick's team looked completely out of sorts, unprepared. You're paying him $10 million for Belichick? You're paying Belichick $10 million and got sold a bad product, basically. I got to tell you, UNC is a bad product with bad quality assurance. It's been quite the offseason for Bill Belichick leading up to this debut, a much anticipated game only because of the guy standing on the sideline with the headset. The offseason was dominated by hype over Bill Belichick, and now reality has hit. Listen, a lot of people have questioned his legacy, and the idea that somehow Bill Belichick will come up with a one-step plan for UNC to become college football's elite, to me, I just don't see it. This coaching experience turns out to be the total opposite. This Bill Belichick experience as it stands is a disaster waiting to happen. I don't see Belichick stand at North Carolina more than a year if all the games look like this. I mean, listen, why would anyone have expected different? UNC was desperate, pursued him, a big name to draw attention. The whole point of this hire in the first place was to bring eyes to the university and program. This coaching move, culture change, more than anything, was a way to try to build up the excitement. The name Bill Belichick is a big deal. He is a huge name, a brand name. So in order to make a name for themselves, you bring him in to find relevancy through a former NFL coach who is out of touch, now 83 and 105 without Tom Brady. That is 83 wins and 105 losses. The mystique is gone. The genius label was always propped up in large part because of Tom Brady, obviously because of who he is, given the success he had in the NFL as a coach. Expectations are high, but you're not quite sure about him as a coach, and certainly not sure about the guy he has calling the offensive plays. Good Lord, Freddie Kitchens. How about we check back with Bill Belichick in October or November? And what if it's so bad that AD Bubba Cunningham finally says, you know what? We got it wrong with Belichick. It's time to go a new direction. Belichick's highly anticipated run as the head coach of North Carolina is going to be cut short if this only is the start of a downward trend. The lack of preparedness, the lack of focus, the energy they chose, their body language, first impressions can have a lasting impact. I'm not getting good vibes here. What did you think was going to happen? Belichick all of a sudden shows up and UNC is a powerhouse? This season, they're going to suck. UNC is going to suck, and Belichick is going to probably get fired. Because his entire coaching career, if he doesn't have Brady, he's horrible. And we have actual evidence to support this. Without Tom Brady, there's no Bill Belichick. What is it about him that you like? UNC needed to appear big since they don't have a really good football program. It's not what you would call a premier football program. It's a basketball school, a rich history of college basketball, but football doesn't nearly get the same hype. So they bring in Belichick, hoping he changes that. So is it really about wins and losses when it comes to a sexy name, or more about the fan attention and popularity he brings to the program and being a massive draw in terms of big ratings at UNC? I really didn't think North Carolina hired him to deliver championships. And think about it. Think about this. The Belichick investment will be a success if he ensures that UNC gets to call its shot in the next round of conference realignment. The debut of Bill Belichick was a historically bad night. North Carolina allowed the most points in a season opener, 41, in their program's history. They also lost by their greatest margin in any game since 2018. Mac Brown, his predecessor, had never lost a game by that margin during his second stint in North Carolina. I'm not anti-Bill Belichick. I never met the guy, but it's over for him. It's a wrap. His best coaching days are behind him. The glory days have come and gone. And I look at his coaching staff, friends, family. Jennifer Hudson, is that her name? Jennifer, whatever her name is, his 24-year-old girlfriend is seen, talking to him on the damn sideline. What else is she doing? In the huddle calling plays? And again, honestly, I don't think Bill really wanted to coach a college team. If he could be coaching an NFL team right now, he would. But again, nobody wanted him. North Carolina did, so he said yes to it. And now we're seeing what it could look like, and it's not good. But I think after a discouraging loss, how will Belichick and UNC respond? I think that's everyone's question now. They fell flat on their faces, got back up, took their ball, took off their cleats, and went home early. Went home after the first quarter. UNC was completely outmatched. You see right off the bat, this team isn't ready to compete. Even if your coach's name is Bill Belichick. Not an ideal way to start his college career. Not the start I imagined. That wasn't the start he had hoped for. This was the worst start he could have had. It was bad. And let's be real. Bill Belichick probably won't be coaching North Carolina after this season. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate the love and support. I'm checking out of here now. It's been great as always. Love chatting it up with you guys. You know, if you guys want more of this great sports content, you guys know where you guys can find me. You guys know that you guys are more than welcome to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button. You guys can also check out my TikTok as well. Follow me there. Some good stuff over there as well. And I'm also known as the Sports Judge 85 on Instagram. You guys can follow me there too. All right, everybody. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great Wednesday. We'll talk again very soon. I'll be back with more great content for you guys throughout the day and tomorrow. Take care, everyone.